said that you're coming to Mexico for a long time. Can you give us one reason why?
Well, it's a simple philosophy in life, and that is go to where you're welcome. Go to where it's easy. There are enough challenges in life that you don't have to go to where you're not welcome.
Hola, bienvenidos a Mexico.
It is not mandatory that in order to thrive in this world, one must live a conventional life. If an unconventional life is going to bring you freedom and happiness, then you should follow that path and live that life to the fullest, regardless of what the masses are doing.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Uche, your favorite Evil Voyager, and welcome back to my channel. So in case you're wondering, yes, I'm in Mexico. Your girl did a thing. A little pat on the back from me. But before we get right into it, first some tea, okay? And then I'm gonna give you guys a quick little rundown, a quick update about the rules and regulations of coming to Mexico so that you don't make the same mistake I made. Let's go get some tea. It smells so nice. Okay, so let's get right into it. So as Canadians and Americans and any other country that can come to Mexico without visa requirements, you were able to come to Mexico for up to 6 months without no problem. No visa required, no explanation needed, nothing like that. All you had to do was just come into the country, and then if your 6 months is coming up, you just step out of the country for a day and you come right back. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, but those days are long over. And the reason is because apparently they've just been having a lot of influx of people from down south coming into Mexico as a way to get into the US. They've changed the rules, so now as a Canadian, if you want to come here, and this is what I did, if you want to come here, you either need to have an invitation letter on hand or you have a visa or something like that. So when I arrived, they gave me 3 weeks, and I was like, why? Why just 3 weeks? They're like, you need an invitation letter. So of course I didn't have an invitation letter with me. Honestly, it also depends on the person that you get, because you're gonna be lucky if they give you 1 month, you're gonna be lucky if they give you 3 weeks. It honestly depends on the airport person that you get. So yeah, after trying to convince them, of course, to no avail, I kind of gave up, and I decided, fine, I will leave the country after 3 weeks and I will come back with an invitation letter. I ended up going to Costa Rica, and it was a great experience. However, it did cost me a lot, you know, considering that the reason I went there in the first place was because I had to leave the country to come back to Mexico in order to come to get 6 months, granted. So I came with an invitation letter. Shout out to Edmundo, my host in Puebla, for hooking it up. And they gave me 6 months. I was so thankful. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's get right into it. Okay, so yes, your girl's in Mexico. I did a thing. I quit my job and I relocated to Mexico. One of the reasons I came to Mexico was because I was here 2 years ago and I absolutely loved the country. I love the people here. I love the culture. I love the food. And of course, it's really close to Canada, you know. So I just wanted to come here. But the main reason was because of the easeability of coming to Mexico, aside from what I just mentioned regarding the whole invitation letter and all that kind of stuff. Mexico is still a very easy country to come to. They don't have any sort of COVID restrictions or anything like that. And like I said, COVID is a thing. And unfortunately, I left Canada. Probably that's the main reason why I left, to be honest. I just was getting very exhausted of the way Canada was handling COVID. It was a little too bureaucratic, a little too stressful for my well-being, so I decided that I no longer want to participate in this. I don't want to be a custodian of this sort of medical apartheid system. So that's precisely why I left Canada, and then I came to Mexico for the reasons that I previously just mentioned. All right. So why did I quit my job? I quit my job because, unfortunately, I used to be a dental assistant. It was never meant to be a long-term career for me. I got into it because it's a very easy job to get into. It's only a 1-year schooling in Canada, and great paying job for a 1-year college diploma. It's actually a well-paying job. So I decided to get into it, and of course my sister was already working in the field for over 10 years, so I got counsel from her too. So then I got into it, but over the years I noticed that it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't making me happy. I didn't really like the job that much. I was kind of just dragging my feet every time I went to work. You know, it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And I knew it from the start, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. Let me just give you guys a disclaimer. I'm talking about my personal experience. Doesn't mean that this is gonna be the experience for everyone who goes into the field. So just bear that in mind. But for me personally, I didn't like the job, and I was working in the field for about 7 years, not 7 consecutive years, because like I said, I never liked it enough for stay in one office for more than 2 years, really. So I took lots of breaks in between. But what really propelled me to quit, not just my employer, but the actual job, was that because I caught COVID. As mentioned before, the Canadian system for handling COVID was already too much for me. And then I got COVID, and then I went to work, and I started feeling like I was legitimately ostracized from my workplace. People were not talking to me after I came back from my isolation. They were giving me the cold shoulder. It was really uncomfortable. It got really, really, really uncomfortable. So people were reacting negatively towards me. So I decided, like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. This is exactly the momentum, the energy I needed, because I actually don't want to stay in this field for a long time. So thanks, guys, like deuces. So long story really short, that was what propelled me to quit. However, that's not the only reason why I quit, because like I said before, it wasn't my dream job, okay? Whew. I did have one more thing. I'm not a person who experiences culture shock in other countries. I've never really had a culture shock, and I don't know if it's because I was born and raised in Nigeria, so it's already completely different from Canada, so I'm used to different cultures. But the only thing that I can say that I experienced here in Mexico that it's not even a culture shock really, but just the mask. Like, people here wear masks a lot. A lot. I mean, they're outside and they're wearing masks. So that kind of threw me off guard. I was like, I didn't expect that coming to Mexico. But to be honest, I mean, you don't have to wear a mask if you're outside. That's obviously everyone's, like, that's your own individual choice. And obviously, I guess some people feel more comfortable wearing masks, and that's their thing, you know? And that being said, I much rather go to a country that people are wearing masks like 24/7, not everyone by the way, but a lot of people, than stay in a system that has been designed strategically to take away our freedom of choice. Well, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.